Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we're going to radically redefine how you think about language. If hearing the word syntax suddenly gives you flashbacks to stuffy school rules and red-penned essays, let's just wipe that slate completely clean right now. Today we're going to discover that syntax is absolutely not a dusty set of rules invented by grammarians. It's actually a lightning-fast, totally subconscious superpower that is literally hardwired into your human brain. So let's dive right into this.
All right, read these two sentences to yourself. First, the hungry cat chased the small mouse. Makes perfect sense. Now look at the second one. Chased mouse the cat small hungry the. I mean, your brain just instantly, almost violently rejects that second sentence as absolute chaos, right? You don't need a linguistics degree to know it's wrong. And that right there brilliantly illustrates our core premise. You already possess a highly advanced subconscious mental grammar that automatically enforces structure. So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1. The architecture of language. 2. The hidden syntactic hierarchy. 3. Your brain on syntax. 4. The great grammar illusion. And finally, 5. Why syntactic awareness matters. Starting with Section 1, the architecture of language, the building blocks of human communication. To really get this, we need to understand that human communication isn't just one giant monolithic thing. In linguistics, language is actually viewed as a highly modular, multi-tiered cognitive system. You know, you've got phonetics and phonology handling the raw sounds, you have morphology, which is the internal structure building the actual words, and then, jumping to the other end, semantics and pragmatics handle the literal and contextual meanings. But right there, smack in the middle, is syntax. While morphology builds the individual words, syntax is the engine. It contains the rules and constraints that govern exactly how we combine those words into phrases, clauses, and full sentences. And because of that amazing engine, we achieve something the famous linguist Noam Chomsky beautifully called discrete infinity. I love this phrase. The crucial takeaway here is that syntax allows us to compose a literally infinite number of completely unique ideas, but we do it using only a finite set of words and rules. It is the ultimate creative generator inside your head. Moving on to Section 2, the hidden syntactic hierarchy, beyond linear word order. Now, let's totally shatter the misconception that syntax is just putting words in a straight line, kind of like beads on a string. Take this classic ambiguous sentence, I saw the man with the binoculars. If language was purely linear, this would only mean one thing. But as researchers point out, your brain automatically constructs two completely different, invisible structural hierarchies to make sense of it. Interpretation A, what they call the high attachment, means I literally used the binoculars to see the man. But interpretation B, the low attachment, means I saw a man, and that man was the one holding the binoculars. The linear words themselves never change. What changes is the invisible architectural hierarchy your brain is actively building to extract the meaning. Which brings us to Section 3, your brain on syntax, the hard science of grammar. So this brings up a huge question in cognitive science. Is this incredible ability just a byproduct of general human intelligence, or do we actually have dedicated biological machinery for it? Well, the hard science has a definitive answer. Neuroimaging research using functional MRIs from scientists like Friederici and Machin and Hickok proves that syntax is absolutely a dedicated biological module. Processing this invisible structural hierarchy reliably and specifically activates localized regions in the brain, like Broca's area, mapping specifically to Brodmann area 44/45. Your brain literally has a localized syntax department. And the sheer speed of this department is just staggering. When subjects in these empirical studies read a sentence with a phrase structure error, like say, the man's of house, the brain fires off an ELAN wave, which is a specific electrical signal, in just 100 to 200 milliseconds. That is a tiny fraction of a second. Your brain registers the structural error way before you consciously realize something is even wrong. Section 4, the great grammar illusion, cognitive reality versus social etiquette. That biological reality leads us straight into a major paradigm shift. It's time to completely rethink how we judge what people say. And to do that, we have to separate prescriptive grammar from descriptive syntax. Look at it this way. Prescriptive grammar dictates social etiquette. It comes from style guidebooks telling you what is considered proper in a formal setting. It evaluates social value. Descriptive syntax, on the other hand, is the scientific approach. It models our actual subconscious cognitive knowledge, and its authority comes directly from the empirical observation of how native speakers actually talk naturally. So how does this change our understanding of what an error actually is?
Well, in generative syntax, when researchers place an asterisk in front of a sentence, they are definitely not acting like a teacher grading your essay. They aren't making a social judgment at all. That asterisk specifically denotes a violation of cognitive reality. It simply means the utterance is descriptively ungrammatical because it breaks the deeply ingrained native mental rules inside a speaker's head.
For example, consider the phrase, "Who did you talk to?" Traditional prescriptive handbooks will constantly tell you it's incorrect to end a sentence with a preposition. They absolutely hate what's called preposition stranding. But syntactically, it is descriptively perfectly grammatical. If you observe real English speakers in the wild, preposition stranding is universally used, totally natural, and highly controlled by our subconscious cognitive rules. Or take the sentence, "I didn't see nobody." Prescriptivists will tell you double negatives are just quote-unquote bad grammar. However, sociolinguistic observation shows us that negative concordance is highly systematic. It's a strictly rule-governed property in dialects like African American Vernacular English and Southern American English, just the same as it's literally mandatory in Standard Spanish. It is not an error, it's just a systematic variation. Okay, so what does a real error look like? Check out this completely bizarre sentence. "From coming you are where." Now, that gets the asterisk. This is a true violation of human cognitive grammar. Literally, no native speaker, regardless of their dialect or background, would ever naturally produce this sentence. Why? Because it completely shatters the core interrogative word order rules encoded in our brains. Finally, Section 5, Why Syntactic Awareness Matters. The real-world payoff.
So why should you care about this distinction beyond just, understanding linguistics? Well, applied research by scholars like Myhill proves that treating language as an explicit, descriptive structural system has massive real-world payoffs. When you stop trying to just memorize arbitrary prescriptive social rules and instead start understanding the actual architecture of sentences, your metacognitive control just skyrockets. Your writing flexibility improves dramatically. And for second language learners, it significantly increases the writing complexity. You basically stop guessing what sounds proper and you start engineering your ideas with actual precision. So, I want to leave you with this thought. You are walking around right now with a biological engine in your head capable of processing infinite structural hierarchies in mere milliseconds. You already have the superpower. So moving forward, are you going to keep judging language based on stuffy invented etiquette? Or are you going to start marveling at the incredible cognitive machinery firing inside your own mind? Thanks for joining me on this explainer. I really hope it changed how you see the words you use every single day.